Okay, let's start with a little tour of the Haiku page so you'll know where to find everything as we go through this course. This is the first page you'll see when we open up, and you'll see right here there is a box where all the remind announcements will show up. Obviously, you get those on your phone, but if you ever miss one or need to look back at something, they kind of accumulate there in that box. There's the information over here. I think everybody signed up for it, but just in case, here's the invite for you to find the information to sign up for the class. One thing that you do need to sign up for is this Get a 5 website. What you will find there are some videos that go along with our lectures. The instructor, her name is Kim, and she pretty much goes through everything that we go through, but it's just a different perspective, a little bit of a different voice than what I can provide. So if you're struggling with a particular topic, that will be a good place to look. Most of the videos have a quick kind of quiz at the end, and I will kind of add that to your assignment list. I will be able to see the results as long as you follow the instructions right here and enroll in our course. I'll be able to see what you've watched. I'll be able to see what you scored on those quizzes and whatnot. I don't take a grade for it. It's just there for your benefit and for me to get a little bit of feedback on how things are going for you. So please, as soon as you finish watching this video, sign up for the Get a 5 on that website and get registered for our class. You know what we're trying to cover in this class. Obviously, the purpose is for you to make a 5 on the AP Calculus exam and receive college credit. Now, you don't have to score a 5 to get college credit, but that's the goal. A 3 is usually sufficient, but the higher the grade, the better your results are going to be in college. It is going to go pretty quickly. We've got a lot to cover between now and May, but it is totally manageable. Most of the time in previous classes, I have not assigned much homework. It's manageable as long as you stay on task to get most of the work done in an hour and a half every day. So, and if you watch some of my lectures the night before or at some point in time during the day when you have a little bit more time, then you really can just devote that time when you're together with your classmates and when I come to work with you on working on the problems. Sorry for that interruption. Let's see here. Let me talk a little bit again about that making a 5. It's all about your mindset. Are you going to determine that you're going to do well on this exam from the beginning? Because I've had students that have kind of had it in their mind, well, I haven't passed other AP exams, I'm probably not going to pass this one. But every single year, my students' performances have increased. I've had a higher percentage of students pass the exam. Last year, they redesigned the course a little bit and redesigned the test, but I had my highest pass rate ever. I only had 2 students that weren't able to pass the exam, and I didn't have any ones this year. I have had some in the past, but this year, everybody at least made a 2. So there's a lot of growth there, but we're going to start preparing for it from the very beginning. I'm going to get you as used to the AP style questions as possible, free response and multiple choice. And my tests are modeled just like the AP exam, and the expectations are high. As far as the tests go, they do count 50% of your grade. The quizzes are 40%, and then every once in a while we'll have another kind of assignment that's 10%. I know tests, 50%, that's a big part, but that's what we're preparing for. So all of our tests will be no longer than 1 class period. They're timed, 50% multiple choice, 50% free response, just like the regular AP exam, and I will grade them exactly as the AP readers grade the AP exam. So you need to know ahead of time that I'm not expecting you to be able to make 100 raw score on these tests. On the AP exam, about 50% raw score will earn you a passing grade of a 3. Sometimes it's even closer to 40%. It just depends on the year and the students taking the test. So somewhere between 40 and 50% raw score will earn you a 3, and about 70% raw score will earn you a 5. So when you take these tests in class, I will take your raw scores and I will convert them to a higher score. It will vary from test to test, but that will be the score that actually goes in the grade book. So when you finish taking these tests, please do not walk out of the room absolutely discouraged, knowing that you only got 50%. Instead, I hope that you walk out positively. I got 50% of that test right. I just passed the AP exam. Over here on the right, so a few more details. You do need a binder. I suggest a 3-ring binder, not a notebook, because there will be some handouts and things, and it'll just be easier to keep up with everything. And you pretty much just need your paper and pencils. I do suggest some index cards so that you can make flashcards. Some people find that helpful with some of the topics that we do to have those flashcards. And you all have a school-issued calculator to be using throughout the course as well. And I'll be kind of addressing some of those things as we need some of those functions. And finally, just a little bit about me. I've been teaching for 7 years. This is my 7th year of teaching and 5th year of teaching AP Calculus. I absolutely love it. It gets better every year. So I'm excited about trying it in this new format. I am getting married on October 8th this year. So there'll be a week there where I will not meet with you guys face to face, but I will still have some information uploaded ahead of time for you to work on. My name then will become Mrs. Johnson, so good luck getting the hang of that. It'll take me a while to start responding to it, I'm sure. I love Surrey Central. I also coach basketball, so that will be taking a lot of my time between November through February. So please bear with me if it takes me a little time to get something graded or something like that. But before Surrey Central, I graduated from Salem College in 2010 with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and a minor in Chemistry. And then immediately after Salem, I went to Wake Forest to get my Master's of Education with a focus in secondary mathematics. So I am a Salem College alumna and a deacon at heart. If you've got questions about either of those colleges and universities, I would love to talk to you about them. So that's a little bit of a tour of the front page of our Haiku page. Let's look at a little bit more of what you'll find. The next resource that we will be using is WebAssign. And I'm going to be honest, I'm new to it. I've helped some students use it, but I've never used it as an instructor. You will be getting some further instructions as far as your access code and things like that as soon as I have them. I'll try and get you those and we can get started. But I think it would be helpful if you explore these following links to familiarize yourself with it and just kind of get a little bit of an idea in your head before you've got to jump in and start using it. Especially on the student features, read those notes on the right side because WebAssign can be a little picky. It's trying to read math on a computer, so you got to be able to input those answers in the format that they want them. So you have to really, really pay attention to that. That's one of the big things that I know about it. You will also find I have the big topics that we'll be covering. We'll be covering limits, derivatives, and hopefully we will get into a little bit of integrals before first semester is over. But we'll be starting with limits. So this is where you will find all of your information. I'll kind of have a little bit of an outline right here for you to see when we're going to be working on what. Here's just kind of a sample page of what you can expect. When you click on, for example, September 5th through 8th, you will see kind of an outline like this. I will have a block of suggested list of tasks for each day. Now, obviously, this is kind of self-paced, but anything that I put on the page for September 5th through 8th, I expect to be completed that week. So whether you get all of Tuesday's work done on Tuesday, or if it takes you a little bit in the Wednesday, or if you get it done ahead of time, I don't really care about that, but I thought it would be helpful for you to kind of have a suggested list of tasks for each day. So I'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll have those outlined, and it'll tell you which lectures you need to watch, which problem sets you need to complete, and any additional resources that would be helpful for that day's topic. I will also have a block of WebAssign, and I will list the assignments and the due dates in that block as well. And then sometimes I will post actual worksheets because we just need a little bit of work with the raw skills and not so much with the application problems that will be on WebAssign. So I'll post PDFs of those on the website. You do not need to print them off unless you're just somebody that you've got to have a hard copy of it, and we can work that out if we need to. I will also post a PDF of the answer key. So as you're working, you can check your answers. Sometimes that would be a PDF of my work, so you can actually see some of the problems worked out. It just kind of depends on the resources that I have. I don't anticipate using that as much with the WebAssign, but if I do, they'll be posted there. You'll see over here on the right, I will always post the lecture notes, and I'll have titles to them, so you can know exactly what I'm expecting you to watch each day. And this is not actually one that you'll be watching. I'm going to redo it specifically for you guys. But the hope is I'm going to have the audio as you're hearing now. You will be able to see what I'm writing on the example notes there. And then there will also hopefully be a webcam/video version or aspect of it. So if I have to get up and point at something at the board or something like that, you can see that occurring as well. Please let me know if there seems to be anything wrong with any of the videos, audio, video, anything about it. If there's some aspect that you would like to see, but my perspective is I'm going to just go straight through the notes. I'm going to work them out. I'm not going to do them super, super fast, but I'm also not going to pause between the examples. So it's a video. You can pause it whenever you need to, as often as you need to. You can rewind, whatever you need to do for you to get that instruction. But I'm just going to go straight beginning to end. So if it's a 6-minute video, it'll probably take you a little bit more than 6 minutes to get through it, because I do expect you to be taking notes like you would in a traditional classroom, because you do need to reference those. But you can pause it, rewind, whatever you need to do to get the most out of those videos. I will also post down here a box of Get a 5 videos that go along with my lectures, and I will let you know what I'm expecting you to have viewed, or if I'm just putting it there as an additional resource if you need to see a few more examples or just hear it phrased a little bit differently. But I do expect you to always complete the quizzes at the end of those videos. So even if you don't watch the video, scroll down to the bottom of the page and answer those questions, click submit, and then you can move on, okay? Even if, whether you need to watch the video on Get a 5 or not. I think that's about it that you need to know ahead of time. If you've got any questions about it, feel free to message me through Remind. I'll be happy to communicate with you that way. That's probably the quickest and easiest way to communicate with me. You can also email me on my school email, which is here on our front page. It's redmondl@surrey.k12.nc.us, and the way that I understand it, even after I get married, emails sent to that will still come to me, so don't worry about that changing. Other than that, just give me some feedback if you need to know anything else, and let's get ready to do some calculus.